So the new Aquaman 2 trailer just dropped after the teaser was released over last weekend. Now, I loved the first Aquaman movie. Was it the best DC movie ever since The Dark Knight? No, but it was epic as hell, entertaining, and just visually awesome. James Wan just knows how to do it like that. There was also some decent emotion in it that I could fuck with, and it also was the first DCEU movie to hit $1 billion since The Dark Knight. So it's got that going for it, both critically and financially. It was pretty solid, okay? Which are two separate things, okay? For those of you that don't know. To be honest, this movie was probably my favorite DCEU movie until the Suicide Squad, that is. I probably would have put Wonder Woman above it, like as the best DCEU movie, but this one was still by far like my favorite. It was so fun and just like a really visually awesome movie. But with the news of the DCU coming and the DCU being forgotten, on top of all of that, having this movie be delayed so much, then hearing it was horrible with people walking out of the test screenings, I honestly really lost faith in this franchise. But after watching the trailer, I gotta say, that shit went harder than a bitch. The visuals, the action, the new suits, and the story they're adapting might just make this one of the best superhero movies of all time. I know that sounds like super hyperbole, far-fetched, but there's enough superhero movies now, so I can be 100 with that statement. Like legit, I think it's gonna be pretty good. We're going to get into everything in this trailer, but before we do, it's come to my attention that Amber Heard's role as Mera had in fact been significantly reduced. In a movie where she has just had a child with the main character, being a main character herself, how that'll work, I have no idea, but I'm here today, players, to take credit for that. A lot of people believe it was due to her ongoing trial with Sir Johnny of Depp, but no, players, I'm here to say it was completely me. I sent her away, one of my top operatives, one of my best guys, a man, a legend, a bitch ass motherfucker, a being of impeccable moral fortitude, to offer her, let's just say, an offer she couldn't refuse, so much so that her time on set was drastically reduced. Whoever could I be talking about? Well, you guessed it, players. William Pumpernickel.
Amber Heard, I need you in my life. I love toxic bitches, and I'll let you shit in my bed for sure.
So we find out that Arthur Curry Jr., Aquababy, is coming through this movie, and so it looks like one of the main themes of the movie is Arthur balancing his surface level responsibilities with his underwater ones, which I think is like really dope. I like how something like an underwater train crash can happen in Atlantis and he just comes to save the day like, you know, Spider-Man would in New York. The turbulence here is just absolutely everything. Again, James Wan just knows how to do it. I'm really digging superheroes having kids and families. I think it's just, you know, a natural progression, and it humanizes them even more, and it makes for more interesting dynamics and stakes, one in particular being the life of little Arthur Curry because of what story it looks like they'll be adapting. We'll get into that in a bit. We see Black Manta again, and after getting beasted in the first movie, he's back for revenge to fuck all of Aquaman's shit up for basically laying the seeds for his father to die. Ultimate player hater mode has been engaged, as it seems he's obtained the Black Trident and has gotten a pretty significant power boost. The Black Trident is said to be based off of the Dead King scepter from the 2011 run of Aquaman, issue 11. We find that the Dead King was the one who built Atlantis and was responsible for its sinking. Black Manta is actively looking for this relic in the book, and it looks like they will closely adapt this, as well as the Death of the Prince arc, which was basically Aquaman over probably, I would say, like 15 different comics, not really being able to balance his duties as king and Justice League member, and so he was usurped from the throne. And behind the scenes, Black Manta had been plotting and eventually set up a scenario in issue 452 of Adventure Comics where he had to fight Aqualad to the death in order to free his son from this like chamber that he was put in where he couldn't breathe, and so they obviously didn't make it in time. The little one dies. Everybody is talking about this on Twitter and social media about how they cannot possibly do this in the movie. The trailer itself looks awesome, so I'm not sure if maybe the way that that happens is what had people walking out of those test screenings. It would make sense, you know, nobody really wants to see that. All in all, I have no idea what they will do or how this movie will turn out, but it looks fun as hell. I love the black and green. Shit is regal as fuck, just so ethereal, such Wizard of Oz vibes. It looks like the power trade-off will be the trident corrupting him with whatever like dark magic it possesses. That scepter in the comics is able to like level continents, like it can create crazy earthquakes, so I think that's what the fear is, that it'll consume Black Manta and he'll just destroy the world. So that should be interesting to see how that plays out. The Black Manta suit, okay, is just perfection. Say what what you will about this franchise, but it is peak comic translation, okay? That suit is amazing. I loved Aquaman's suit in the first movie, and it looks like they added some like reddish copper tone to it. It's still absolute flames. Even the navy camouflage suit looks great, and the disappearing effect looks good too. We see him using it to rescue Orm, which, look at him, okay? What no forehead kisses does to a morpho. But he gets all of his electrolytes back as soon as he touches that seawater, it seems, and Patrick Wilson is still looking like a beast, okay? I'm loving how he's getting another go around this time and might actually have a turn at being heroic, and I'm interested in this like bromance, like brother dynamic, and seeing how that kind of develops within this movie. It looks like Orm, you know, Ocean Master might have a turn to the good side, or at least, you know, a little bit better. So we'll see how that transpires. It looks like he'll be the one to provide some more insight and lore around the Black Trident, since I believe Volko is out of the movie because Willem Dafoe had like scheduling conflicts for this one. The design of all the creatures in this look great. James Wan again got to flex his horror skills with the ghoulish dark magic creatures Black Manta seems to be having control over with the use of the trident, and just more great designs. We got some of, you know, King Shark's cousins over here, a tortoise, a big old cracking kaiju, and some ethereal looking seahorses. You would not believe the discourse. A simple gag has started, players. Mofos are seriously tripping over this. You can have comedy in a movie without it turning into Thor Love and Thunder, okay? It's possible to balance a comedic tone with serious emotional ones, and I think James Wan has got this, to be honest. Ultimately, I don't think this movie is going to be the best DC movie since The Dark Knight. I think it's going to be on the higher end of like superhero movies, but even if it's not, I think it's going to be almost exactly like the first one, which is fun, entertaining, visually vivid, and action-packed. So your boy will be copying those tickets as soon as they drop, but let me know what you thought of the trailer, whether you liked it or not, and if you're hyped for the movie. I know it's more than likely not going to continue on in the DCU, but honestly, I think it'll be a fun time regardless. Let me know your thoughts though. If you liked the video, leave me a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you want, subscribe. I always appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope all of you guys are well, and I will see you in the next one.